Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Divine Room podcast. I'm Hased.
And I'm Melissa, and this is just a safe space for all divine beings to just be.
Ding!
Okay. Energy. I love.
She said she wanted She's like, I need energy. I need the opening. So that was my attitude.
I love it. I think
Have you
that's
seen that
how.
TikTok?
Yes.
Attitude. Now walk out.
Like it fits you, your personality.
Where's yours? Where's your energy?
Energy. It's very cutesy. It's very demure.
Okay, very mindful.
Very mindful.
Very simple.
That's me.
Yeah. I'm more like, woo! Still very demure.
For sure. It's cute.
Never. Whatever.
Anyways, how are you?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
It took me a while.
Yeah.
I think I'm delusional. I was gonna say illusional.
Is that a word?
Illusion, yeah.
Illusional.
Not illusional.
Yeah.
Delusional.
Delusional.
A little bit.
Why are you delusional?
Because it's kind of late.
That's true. It's like 10:30 right now, y'all.
Not even.
Is it 11?
Almost 11. But I mean, I had a long day, so.
Yeah.
I had a long day yesterday too. How are you?
Why do I have to think about it? I feel like I'm good.
I know, me too. It's weird.
Yeah. I feel like because you know what it is when we ask each other that? We know that this is like our safe space. So I think this is like therapy. You know when the therapist asks you, how are you? And you're like, shit, this is where you have to. Yeah. You really have to like, damn, I have to really tell her how I'm feeling. That's kind of how this feels like.
I had a therapy session this morning.
Oh, this morning?
It was this morning.
Oh my God, no wonder you're exhausted.
You think so?
Girl, anytime I have therapy,
it takes a toll on you, huh?
I block the rest of my day.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was supposed to be yesterday, but I was too busy, and usually I have them Tuesdays, but I switched them Thursdays, and so yeah, it's been a pretty eventful past days.
Yeah. I had a therapist tell me one time, she's like, this was like our first session. She's like, I like to tell all of my patients, to block the rest of your evening and only plan self-care activities.
Usually I do that.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's just today was a little different.
Yeah, because it's a mental toll for sure.
It is, and like going into our topic, it's because I've been hustling a lot. Yeah, this past week, and just like just doing certain gigs with film and editing and all that.
Yeah. And on that note, what we want to talk about today is the hustle culture, right? Like that is something that is so prevalent in modern society. When you think about social media, right? Yeah. Like everybody has this mentality of like constant hustle.
I know.
Right?
Yeah. And I get that. Because it feels like when we're not hustling or chasing that bag, chasing that money, you know, you're seen as like a nobody. Someone that just doesn't have like work ethic or a drive or being lazy.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. And I think that's why like this conversation is so beautiful, because what we really want is redefining what success looks like.
Most definitely. Yeah.
You know, and not being in that hustle.
Ooh, yeah, that's heavy. Yeah. I think for me it's been like very hard to understand what success is, especially at a young age. You know, and I feel like at whatever age you are, you in your 50s and you're barely like starting a business again.
Yeah.
Doing it with someone else or a different partner, whatever it is.
Right.
And I think I've been like in the entrepreneurship / like business industry since I was, I think, 23.
Wow, that's pretty young.
Yeah, I started like 3 years ago, almost 4, with Sprout Productions. And it's hard to I can go into it, but like if you want to go into it first,
yeah.
then, like,
can I read you something?
Yeah, read me something.
So I wrote this just kind of how I thought, what's the word I'm looking for? Perceived. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Perceived the hustle culture. And I wrote, in a world that constantly glorifies constant productivity and the grind, it's easy to get caught up in the whole hustle culture where success is often measured by how busy you are, how much you earn, or how quickly you achieve your milestones. I just really wanted to touch on the common notion and exploring what success truly means on a deeper, more personal level for each individual.
Yeah.
Because I think everyone also has different perspectives on what success looks like. But I think that there's an overall picture, and that's the hustle culture that's really implemented in our brains, right? I think there are so many people who live under that pressure, and then we can go into topics of anxiety and depression and unworthiness, or that feeling of unworthiness. And I think it starts from there, is redefining what success looks like on a personal level.
Yeah, I think going back to what you said, I think for a lot of people, it's like, I'm not successful until I make my first 10K in a month. Or I make like 3 times more than what I made at my 9-to-5 job. You know, I think that's like when they're like, yeah, I succeeded. But I don't think they realize, and I didn't realize personally either, that success is already starting when you open your business and you expose your business to people and you get one client. That's already success. That is success for you.
Totally.
And I think the more you consistently work at it and you're putting effort into it, that's also success.
Right.
The moment that you stop and the moment that you give up, that's when you're not successful. Because you're giving up not only on a business, but on yourself. And I think I've said this before too. Whenever things don't work out in your business, it's because the universe and God is like rerouting you. Realigning you. Exactly. And what was that quote I said that my mom said? You remember? Like I cannot think about it right now.
Really? And it's like a common quote that she says, or what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Failing is first attempt in learning.
Oh, you told me this.
Yes. And so when starting a business, nothing is going to go successfully.
Yeah.
Everything is going to feel like a fail for you.
Yeah.
And also you have these expectation and you have like this destination in your head and you're not there. But understand that like this is all a journey. This is all like you attempting to get it right, and you're consistently learning while you're failing at these things, right? I think it doesn't matter whether it's how much money or how big your business is. I think it's just the consistency of it and just putting effort and putting work into it and allowing this baby, because it's a baby,
right,
to grow and evolve, just like how you put in time and effort into a person or into a pet or a home, whatever it is, right? It's the same consistency and it's the same energy when it comes to your business. But not everyone has a business, right? And it also just consists of hustling
in anything, right?
In anything,
school, business,
right, and
work.
your own work, whether it's like a 9-to-5 or whatever it is. Ooh, I kind of have another idea, but go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, I think that all sounds great, right? That all sounds positive, but I want to dig a little bit deeper.
Okay.
I want to show how we as individuals take on the hustle culture in our own lives.
Okay.
And I think, if I may, for me, I think that there is this pressure of achievement, especially in my career. I don't know if you know this, but my goal is in the near future, I want to reach a certain level in my career.
Okay.
And
in which career?
Well,
because I don't think a lot of people know.
So I want to be a director, director of operations, director of marketing. I just have a real passion for leadership. I've always had a passion for leadership. I think that there is this big misconception of management and leadership. And I really want to explore and really gear other leaders into becoming better leaders, because in essence, when you're a good leader, then you create better leaders.
Right.
So that's my goal, is to eventually become a director. And I think that there's this pressure for me of, okay, I'm at this position, but now I have to get to the next position. And how do I get to the next position? Right. So I'm constantly thinking, what's the next step?
Right.
And I'm never just present. I just have pressure of, I need to achieve more. This isn't enough. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So for me, that's the hustle culture. And I think mine really stems from my dad. He is a very successful man. At the age of 21, he was already buying my mom a house. And
oh, wow.
He was just really successful at an early age. He has his master's degree.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That he bought your mom a house.
Yeah, 21.
Really? That's really cute.
Yeah. And then, sorry, my foot's falling asleep, like really bad.
They had you already at 21?
They had my sister.
Oh, okay. So how old is your sister?
My sister is 32.
Oh, but no, how old was she when?
Oh, well, my mom had just found out she was pregnant.
Oh, so she was like maybe a couple months?
Yeah. So she had just found out she was pregnant, and then my dad obviously jumped on it really quick and was like, okay, I have to buy my wife a house. What a man, seriously.
Shout out to you, Tio. Like, a second shout out to my Tio.
I know, right? He's gonna feel, don't even tell him.
No,
he's gonna hype him up. Oh my God. And now, obviously, time went on. He got his undergrad, his master's degree, and now he's a director.
Successful ass man.
Literally, power to him.
You have a really good role model.
On both ends.
On both sides, yeah. Both your mom and your dad.
Yeah.
But sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you.
No, that's okay.
I don't have parents that ventured into college. But my mom's like very successful and like very entrepreneur. But that's really, really great. And I think you're one of like the very small percentage of like I guess speaking from like the Chicano side and like the Mexican American side, like your parent has a master's, and that's very rare, and that's very beautiful and very admirable. Yeah,
it's something that I always admired in him. And it's not to divulge so much, because I actually really am really interested to hear about your hustle culture.
Okay.
Because we've talked about this a lot. But my dad really instilled the hustle culture in me as far as an education. And my mom instilled the hustle culture in a sense of get your bag, right? Get your money. Because my mom is like an entrepreneur just like yours. And I think there's this part of me that's also where the pressure comes from of, I want to be at my parents' level, right? But I have to remind myself that that's taking them years to build and patience, you know? My dad's biggest quote or just really his motivation is one step at a time, one stone at a time.
Do you feel like your dad is very in the moment, in the present time?
100%. Really? He never. Cool. My dad is known for never dwelling on the past and never dwelling in the future. He's always in the present, and I think a lot of his success comes from that. Is that he doesn't allow the pressure to get to him.
He doesn't like worry as much.
Never.
It's like That's really nice.
Yeah.
My mom's total opposite.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She's like constantly thinking about the pressure. Yeah. I think my mom's the same way.
Constant future, at least.
Yes, yes, yes. And I think when I was younger, my dad really, I wouldn't say pressure, but there was some pressure to achieve certain things as far as my education. And I talked to him about, that I felt the pressure, and he backed off a little bit, and he became more understanding, patient with me, and that changed me. And that's when I learned Mel doesn't work good with pressure. Like, Mel,
Melissa.
me, third person.
Sorry, when you said Mel, I was like male, like
female
male. Yeah, I was like really confused, but I get it.
Yeah,
you as Melissa, Mel.
Yeah. Also, I really love how you say my name, Melissa,
because I'm so Spanish with it.
Yeah,
Melissa.
Ew, see, I can't do that. Don't do that.
Melissa.
I'm so used to saying it in Spanish. You used
Sometimes
to say
I call you Melly.
Melly, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, oh yeah.
So weird.
So random, huh? We're like squirrels. Squirrel.
I'm just kidding. I don't know. Sometimes I do have that. Your dad.
My dad. And where was I going?
He packed up. He backed off.
Oh yeah, he backed off.
Pressure of you being hustler.
Yes. And so I feel like I told you this earlier. Now I no longer abide by the hustle, but I abide by what is giving Melissa, the full body yes. So I no longer move. Of course, I'm human, right? I still have pressure. I'm not perfect. But now I sort of take a step back and I ask myself, okay, I only move if this is giving my body a full yes, I need to do this. So yeah, that's kind of how I relate to the hustle culture. But everybody, looks at it differently. But I really am interested on how you view yourself within the hustle culture. Where do I begin?
Honestly? I think there's always been pressure from parents, obviously, right?
Yeah, 1,000%.
And my parents are very, in my eyes, very successful. They're they got their bag, they got 2 homes, whatever it is. I don't even want.
I'd also like to point out that they came from
nothing.
I'd like to point out that they came from Mexico.
Yes. Yeah. But your parents did too.
But yeah, but like it's still so crazy to me that they created this whole life. Like I think that's not valued enough. Of they come from a whole different country.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're starting over. Like
right? Yeah.
They're leaving everything behind that they know, their comfort.
Yeah. It's the whole fantasy of the American dream.
And I think that's really where the hustle starts.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know how to explain this, but like I feel like America has an American dream, but Hispanics have
the hustle.
And they have not, like, they see that there's more opportunity here and more money here. But going back to my parents, my dad grew up more in a ranch where there was nothing there but to farm or to sell like food or like little chicles, like gums, candy. My dad was selling gums and candy at the age of 5.
My mom did too.
Really? Yeah. Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very, like, it hits your heart.
Yeah.
And I know, like, I get really upset.
I know, it breaks your heart.
It breaks your heart because when we had a childhood, but I feel like both my parents couldn't enjoy that childhood because...
Dude, side note, I just realized this. Did your parents ever, like, like not threaten you, but so that you, like if you were in trouble, my mom would be
Like,
like,
you never know what I had to go
no,
through.
dude, my mom would
Yeah.
be like,
Oh.
te voy a poner en la calle para que vendes chicles y naranjas. And I'm like, oh my God, that
Oh
would
my God,
like,
no, your legal self.
I could
No.
never.
Oh my God.
Side note. Anyways.
Yeah. No, my parents never said that.
Oh.
But they would throw it like, you have no idea what we went through. And
Yeah.
you have the audacity to complain about your life. You know what I mean? But yeah, that was my dad. And I think a lot of Hispanic families and like this generation, like people of our age can possibly like relate to that. You know, but yeah, and like my dad was working on the streets like 5 years old, like selling chicles and like fruits, sandwiches, whatever, right? Like his first official job was like he worked at a torta shop. It's so cute.
That's adorable.
And my dad was the inventor of Uber Eats.
Okay, excuse me.
Of DoorDash. He had the idea of actually delivering the sandwiches and the food from the shop to their homes in his little bicycle.
Stop.
So cute. Huh?
Humble beginnings.
Yeah, and I think he was around 8 to like probably, I don't know, probably 13 or more. Yeah, that was like his first official job. He still talks about that lady. Still, like, to this day, we'll go visit that lady, and like he's like, you changed my life, because he finally had a job in the city. He was no longer like in the ranch. A huge thing too that I want to like kind of bring light into is my dad is from Sinaloa, so that state is very big on the cartel culture. And so for him, it was like such a struggle for him to be different and not get involved in that and be the bigger person and allow himself in
a different lifestyle.
Yeah, and he had hope. He had hope. He had so much hope that he would not be a part of it, and he would not be pressured into getting into it. And so I think he also got like bullied a lot when he was younger about like being like a torta
guy.
Yeah.
Got it.
But he truly had given me a perspective of like, you know, it's really, really hard, but very easy to have faith and hope in what you want to do with your life and your dreams. And so my mom's a different perspective, but my mom's still same thing. Like she worked as like when she was little, like my grandpa had a little tiendita, you know, like a little like grocery store. And my mom was working at like 8
¿My
years
tío
old.
Héctor?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you didn't know?
No.
Yeah, and he would sell hot dogs too.
In Mexico?
In Mexico.
Oh.
He had a carretita de hot dogs and a tiendita.
Stop.
Yeah, but that's how he made his money. My tata put that entrepreneurship on my mom of like making a restaurant, making like businesses.
Yeah.
Yeah, we still have it in Nogales.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, and I think my mom from there and then like she's like, if your grandpa did it, I can do it. And then my mom implanted that seed in my dad. And so together they sprouted and became a beautiful relationship, but also like a beautiful partnership in business. Yeah. Both of them are very good at like understanding what's respectful, what their boundaries are, and like how their money is won. It's very rare too in relationships to have like one bank account and my money's your money, because a lot of like I think now we're a little bit different where we're like, no, like
separate accounts, and then there's a joint account.
Exactly, right? Like I have my account, we have a joint account, and then we put it in whether we're paying for whatever it is, right? My parents never believed in that. Never. And they came here, but they came here separately, but they started their hustle and they started their entrepreneurship and their businesses and whatever they invested in together. So they can't see it at anywhere, anything else as like, well, we built a life together. Like they're literally the definition of we built a life together in this country, and there's no way we can we can leave each other.
Yeah.
Like, so I saw that hustle a lot. My mom is huge and like, I think my mom needs a break, first of all. I think she definitely deserves a break.
Yeah.
And my dad definitely does too. I think that's the biggest thing for me too, that pressure for me to like, I want to be able to make that money and that success so I can retire my parents. You know, like my mom doesn't work like a corporate job, 9 to 5 job where she's finally going to retire and get a retirement check. My dad does have that, but in a sense, like he kind of like is so humble that he accepts like this is the best I'm gonna get instead of like achieving and going for more. My mom's that way though.
I think too, though, on the aspect of your dad coming from Mexico, I think you're just sort of in this mentality of as long as I'm surviving,
yeah,
right?
I'm good.
I'm content. Good. I'm content. Exactly.
Yeah, he's too content. And my mom's like, go for the next position at your job, like open like a business. And he's just, I think he's afraid of like wanting more because he's like, I'm already blessed and I have what I have and I'm content. And my dad is very humble with what he has and he's okay. Like he's like, this is success for me. So that's why when you said like success is different from people's perspective and totally. For everyone. My mom sees success very, very differently
than your dad.
Yeah, but my dad is a true supporter of like, you go for it, baby. Aww. You know, like, you be a woman hustler, I'll just be your cheerleader.
That's cute.
It's really cute. Yeah, my dad doesn't have like an ego or like, you know, some men, and I've experienced this too, where like men feel a bit inferior when the woman like is earning more or is above or whatever it is, right? But my dad has never been that way.
I love that.
And he always says like, whatever's yours is mine, whatever's mine's yours.
We love a supportive father.
We love that. Yeah.
We're very blessed.
We really are. Yeah,
our fathers really are very supportive, and I think and I think going back to my dad, I don't think he meant to put pressure on me to have that hustle mentality. But my dad has always told me one of my goals in life as a father is to make sure that I help you succeed. Yeah. And he tells me that almost all the time of like, you know, your success matters to me. Your success matters to me. And he had that growing up with his mom, right? My grandma was really big on having an education, and she was like, she was a hustler, babe. Like she had, she used to sell jewelry, gold jewelry.
Oh, really? Your dad's mom?
My dad's mom. But same thing. And I told you, I think I shared before in the podcast that, you know, she came from Mexico to the States to, you know, go pick oranges and things like that. So I think in the Mexican culture, it's so prevalent to, you see it more often because it's what was instilled in them in Mexico. When you think of how everybody in Mexico, they're grinding. I mean, we're talking about your father, right? He was 5 years old grinding, selling chicles.
Yeah, and I think that's the Mexican culture is a lot of entrepreneurship, because when you go to Mexico, everything's family owned. Yeah. There's no corporate over there.
No, it's very rare.
Yeah. It's like the Oxxos. Yeah. And possibly like the coffee shops right now that are going, what is it called? Like Cafino or something?
Cafino. Like love.
Cafino. Right, yeah. It's like the Starbucks of Mexico.
Lay's.
Yeah, Lay's, right? But it's rare. Well, it's not rare, but those are the only corporate ones, right? Everything else is family owned. Like the little shops, boutiques, jewelry, like carnicerias, tortilleras, tienditas, like abarrotes, whatever it's called. Like all that's family and business, like family business. All of them.
It's beautiful to see, because we see that, right? But I had an ex-boyfriend who I ended up taking him to Mexico to meet our family out there. And he was in tears because he's like, I respect the Mexican culture so much because I see them hustle. I see you guys grind.
Right? I feel like I had the same thing. Someone said that to me too.
Yeah, I mean, he was like,
to Mexico, was it?
He said a little kid went up to him asked him if he wanted to buy candy or whatever, we went to El Centro in Hermosillo.
Yeah.
And, you know, cuando estás en el centro,
Yeah.
there's like people going up to you,
Yeah.
whatever, selling stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, he was like, I can't believe that this is what's normal
That's
out
our
here.
culture. Yeah, that is normal. If you're not out there grinding at 8 a.m.,
what are you doing?
What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, no, but seriously.
Yeah, and it's like, why aren't you working? And like, what the hell are you doing, right?
Yeah.
And I think, though I do think like sometimes the hustle culture can be, it can be a bit toxic.
Ooh,
and it
totally.
can get dark, right?
Real quick.
And I think because people are so it could go into social media too, and like this generation, it's like if you're not,
my brain's going right now.
Like if you're not putting up that story or Snapchat of like that cash, that stack, it's like, no, what are you doing, right? Especially men. I feel like men get into it a lot. And I mean, like, when I say that, I mean, like, men are pressured to go into, like, this hustle culture of, like, gangs. And, like, pushing out certain products and things that they need to sell. Because that's fast money. That's quick money. And that's, like, stacks of money.
Yeah. And the other like, brain thing that just went off in my head is OnlyFans.
And that's with
women.
And it could be some men too.
Right, totally. But
yeah,
that totally comes from hustling, right? Wanting to make your bag. And like, there's no disrespect there. Like, you do your thing, girl. But at the same time, if you had the choice to hustle in a different way, would you?
But that's the thing, right? That's the beauty of the journey, right? And being in the present. And when you go into the destination, you'll have that big stack of cash and whatever, like your bank account.
But you're just
amazing numbers, but
you're seeking instant gratification.
Exactly. Ooh, that's probably another topic too that we should talk about in another episode. Instant gratification.
Totally,
because it comes from a lot of sources.
So prevalent.
Yeah.
And when you talk about the hustle culture, I think some people are trying to make the quick bag.
Oh my God, most definitely. Yeah. And I don't think people realize that a lot of like steady money and long-term money comes from that, like, that journey and like that hard work and that consistent like build up, right? Because as fast as you get money, the faster you spend it, the faster it's gonna go away. Fast money goes away quick.
Yeah.
Like, when you put your soul and like, just like your pride and everything into this effort of like this job or this company or business or career, it's satisfying. And somehow like the universe allows you to extend that money even more.
It awards you.
Yes, it awards you. And when you're doing it fast, it's gonna go quick fast. Like, I don't know anyone that's like a part of a gang or doing these like street
totally
these street activities.
Yes.
And they're like, yeah, I'm still rich from that. Like, it's always like, oh, I spend my money on a car, or I spend my money on wardrobe, or this designer thing or that. I don't know.
I think back to your point, there does have to be some internal fulfillment of, I worked hard for this,
right?
But I didn't feel like I had to have this pressure.
Yeah.
That I have to succeed.
Yeah.
Or
show off.
Or the finishing point has to look a certain way because the journey was that much more beautiful getting there.
Yeah.
Right? I think so much too, we chase the end point.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're always looking to the future, and you're never truly focusing on the now.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think when we talk about, you know, these men who go into, you know, gangs or
Mm-hmm.
hustling in that sense,
Mm-hmm.
or the women who choose to, you know, use OnlyFans or things like that
Mm-hmm.
in that regard.
Mm-hmm. But in a sense, you get addicted to that lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
Because that gratification of that money,
Mm-hmm.
and now you're stuck in this lifestyle where it's like, I can't go back. Right?
Yeah, I'm used to this hustle.
I'm used to it, and I'm used to this amount of money that's consistently coming to me weekly, every day, whatever it is when you get your money.
It's an addiction.
It is. How do you go back to a 9-to-5 job where it's barely paying you?
Yeah.
And you're barely surviving? And yeah, like, I understand, like, the journey is beautiful of it, but it's hard. Like, once you're exposed to a great amount of money and just like that lifestyle, it's all you know.
And then let's play devil's advocate for a little bit, right? Let's just play the what if game.
Okay.
Let's say we both have, let's say you're a stripper. I have OnlyFans. We're making bank, right?
We would.
We would. I'm sorry.
I'm not gonna lie. We would.
And another light, no,
yeah.
No. And then all of a sudden we were like, hey, let's do something different. Let's change it to the 9-to-5 lifestyle. We wouldn't like it.
No, because we're exposed
not
to
just that, dude, but the American society of the 9-to-5 lifestyle is killing us. Like,
right? And if you think of other countries, I was thinking that too.
Europe?
Like Europe?
Are you kidding me?
They have siesta time.
Literally.
I think I said this in another podcast too.
You did.
They have nappy time, and they only work 4 hours a day, and then it's like they have more of an appreciation of personal life.
And you hear so many Europeans talk about how America does not know how to prioritize, like, self-care or just the need to have a slow life, like la dulce vida, right?
Yeah,
that's what they say, dulce vida.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but I hope I am.
I
but
think you are.
Basically just saying, enjoy your life.
Honestly,
you know?
Yeah. I think we should move to Europe.
You know what?
Yeah. And another thing is societal norms and how society perceives women or men that are hustling. And it's like, yeah, I think when you get to a point where you're making a good amount of money, people always assume the worst. You know? Even if you're even if you're even living like the best way you need to live and you're doing things right or whatever it is, like, well, I'm doing good by my, like, for myself, by my people, whatever it is, and still people will still judge you, and people will still, like, assume the worst.
That's a good topic
and especially
to bring up.
Yeah, and especially people of color.
Ooh,
especially people of color.
We're the worst.
Yeah,
we're the worst to each other.
Yeah, exactly. And my dad had, like, that was the biggest thing with my dad, because he got out from a state where it was like cartel culture, and he came to the States and he started making a good living, and he started my dad ended up getting hurt at a job, and he got workers' comp. Workers' comp?
Yeah, workers' comp.
Yeah, workers' comp. And he also sued that company.
No way.
Yeah, because there's something about the workers' comp that they didn't want to give it to him.
Got it.
Some
it can get tricky. That's
some mess in that sorts. And so we ended up having a good amount of money, and where my mom was smart, my dad was smart, and they invested in a house.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and then they invested in another house, and from there it's like they planted seeds and little things, and then it became like they also invested in a car and, like, whatever it is, right? Like they got a good amount of money. I actually don't know how much, but and, like, literally our own family was like, I don't know, he was probably, like, doing some shady stuff, or I don't know, like that's also perceived, like, once someone is succeeding in life and we're just, like, up in our bag, or
some people listen. Some
or
people,
even when, like, have you ever gotten, like, because your dad has a master's and he has money, then it must be easy for you, or like your daddy's paying for shit?
There's been an assumptions, yeah.
Right. So there's
Assumptions.
been assumptions like that too with
Mm-hmm.
me. And it's like, oh, well, it's because they had money and like now Hassan has an easy life because they set it up for her. And why is that a bad thing? First of all.
I think there are true.
Yeah,
Why,
which
like,
is not true actually. I also like I made the life for my own. I pay
yeah,
my own shit. My parents don't pay anything.
totally.
Yeah.
Same here. I think that there are some people who have a hard time in being happy for somebody else's success.
Yes. Yes.
And that comes from an internal conflict within themselves of,
Yes.
I'm not where I need to be,
Mm-hmm.
and therefore
And so
I
let me
can't.
project.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Projecting 1,000%.
Yeah.
And that puts even more pressure on the hustle culture.
And then with the hustle comes the haters.
No, but it's, yeah,
No, literally,
totally.
yeah. Yeah. And it's so annoying and it's so frustrating when it comes from your own family,
Mhm.
especially. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think just understanding that success is a journey, not a destination.
Yeah.
For everybody.
Yeah.
And I think that no matter how you, right, if your daddy helped you or you did it on
Or
your own,
mom, yeah.
the point is that it's a journey. It's
Yeah.
not somewhere you have to be,
Mm-hmm.
but it's the journey of life, of getting there, of working for it, and
Yeah.
not necessarily having pressure around it. Because I mean, if your dad helped you, you go, girl. You know,
Right?
like.
Yeah.
But I can relate to you because my dad actually wanted to pay for my schooling,
Mm.
and I said no
Oh, really?
because I didn't want to have the pressure.
Yeah. And it's also like, you know, like I think we also have like this guilt internally of like, I don't want my parents to help because then what's that gonna do to me, you know, internally and like
Mm.
I don't know. For me it's like when my parents help me, I just don't feel like I earned it.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
I
So
wanna earn it.
you feel like you have to earn
I
it to
have to earn
feel,
things.
yeah,
Or else if it's always given to me, then I'm never gonna know what that
hard work
hard
feels
work
like.
is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a beautiful thing to have and it's a
Mm-hmm.
beautiful thing to experience. It's so satisfying when you
Mm.
get that job done and you finally have like that amount of money that you're like, I put some hard work in this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have no idea. Like
Yeah.
that feels beautiful.
And that's beautiful that you're saying that because I think for you, that's how you define your success.
I really do.
Mm-hmm.
And I get guilty when I'm not doing anything and I'm getting paid.
Yeah.
And it's sad, but I think that's just like how my parents raised me, especially my mom. It's like if you're not sweating and bleeding,
Your
then
mom gave you that
yeah,
mentality?
my dad did too because my dad is a hard worker. He's the type of man where like he would get up at 4 in the morning and he's in the hot sun working like
Mm.
landscaping. That's my dad's job, and
Mm-hmm.
like he comes home sunburnt and he's like, I do it for you guys and I love you guys and this is hard work and
Mm.
this feels great, you know.
Yeah.
And my mom's the same way.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, and I think like for me, and I had like an easy job too where like I would work from home and I would do certain things, but I always felt guilty.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Maybe it's because I always saw my parents come home every day so tired and like sunburned and just like tired and done. And when you grow up and that's all you're exposed to, you feel guilty when you have it easier.
Totally.
I feel very guilty.
I think the guilt comes from seeing them hustle and like not really enjoying
What they're working.
yeah.
And yeah.
So I think it's important for listeners and ourselves and our parents to constantly contemplate, what does success look like in this chapter of my life? Not the future,
Mm-hmm.
not the past.
Mm-hmm.
What does it look like right now for me?
Mm-hmm.
Right? For us, I would say, or I should say for me
Great.
personally,
Uh-huh.
is showing up for myself, right? Showing up for my mental health, showing up for my podcast, our podcast, sorry.
It is yours.
But you know what I mean? Like just
Yeah.
making sure that I'm doing what I need to do, showing up for work, being a good employee, and a good leader. So I think when somebody's able to constantly reassess what success looks like for them in any chapter of your life, allows you to not have that pressure, because now you have these boundaries that you set for yourself of, okay, this is what it looks like. And so anything outside of that is me putting pressure on it.
Very true.
On what hustle looks like, right?
Yeah.
You know?
I think that's something that I'm working in therapy. And I'm gonna be very open about this. I have a hard time like accepting I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's really hard for me to accept when someone gives me like a compliment, like good job, like you did amazing. That's like, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. And like, here's your money, and I'm like, I'm not deserving of your money. Like, I don't know.
Wow.
It's really hard. And so learning about the energy of money and the energy of finances and how to not only manifest it but also accept it.
Because money, for those that don't know,
is
money
energy.
is connected to self-worth.
Yeah. And it's literally energy. It's literally a concept. It's a number. It's really nothing. And it's everything in the same sense.
It's the energy of self-worth. So if because I actually took a course.
I never saw it that way, but like, that's interesting. You learned that money is self-worth?
So in this course, I actually got a scholarship for a course. It was like this motivational speaker, and she was offering a course, and she was giving out like 2 scholarships, and I was one of the 2, which I was really, cool. Really excited because, I wrote this whole essay about how I want to join her course, whatever. And why did I say whatever? I need to stop. I said that earlier and you called me out on it. And
I think because
no, I can't stop saying it. Anyways, so I took the course, and she does EFT tapping. And so she works through your limiting belief of the fear of money or fear of making big amounts of money. So I would tap into whatever doubt I had. So for example, mine was, I don't feel worthy of making big amounts of money. That's always been like one of my like fears. Because, my parents are very humble people. We come from humble beginnings. Like it was we never tapped into that until I got older. Anyways, so I start tapping, right? And I start crying because I'm like, oh my gosh, this stems from, I don't feel worthy.
And it stems from generations.
Oh yeah, totally.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it.
So it comes from self-worth, 100%.
Wow. I also learned about the different chakras in your body and how it starts from your feet, and they all have I see, I feel, I want, I understand, whatever it is, right? And so you start from the bottom of your chakra and you go up. And so I've been doing that to accept the energy of my finances and my money, and how I always say money's obsessed with me.
Affirmations.
I understand money. Money understands me. I see money. I feel money. I love money.
I love this.
And so you keep doing it every day. Until you finally feel like, I get it. I understand it, because repetition is everything. Repetition is what subconsciously you get it. Totally. Your subconscious is gaining that. And it's like, bitch, you know money. You are money. You a boss, bitch. What the fuck are you doing?
1,000%. So I want to show you, because you just dinged in my brain. I have my recordings of affirmations. And so I have a success one just to kind of show you. My feeling of faith is the basis of my miracles, attracted my success. The only thing I need to feel is my aligned state of mind. Why do I sound so cool? I am a being of power, intelligence, and light. I just realized how like deep I sound. Like my voice sounds very sultry, very like seductive.
Yeah.
Anyways,
you're tuned in. That's what it sounds like. But I just learned that, and actually I learned this off of a YouTube video.
Yeah.
And I started doing it. I need to get back into it because this week has been everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And trust me, it has been changing my life.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
You know what it is, though?
It's energy. That's what I mean. It's like you probably learned it from self-worth. I don't generalize it like that. I just see it as like, just how I can attract love in my life, I can attract money. Just how I can attract good people in my life, I can attract money. You know, but and for me, like, it's the same thing with love. Like, I've finally found a new perspective of love.
Yeah.
And I understand that too. Like, but love is a little bit different. It does come from self-worth in my perspective. But for me, like, money, I don't really see it that way. I just see it as like an energy source.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think too, like, anything, if it comes from loving yourself and knowing that you are deserving of all good things, love, money, success, happiness, peace,
opportunities, like
you deserve all of that. And then some, you know.
Yeah, and when you start knowing, because everyone is deserving of whatever they want to be deserving in, then that's when, like, it starts coming to you.
Totally.
And again, like, repetition is what sticks.
Yeah.
I don't know how to, like, explain it as much as, like, that saying, but the more you repeat it,
that consistency,
you're not only bringing it, but you're also allowing yourself to know that is what you want, that is your worth, that is what you're destined to do and be and have.
Totally.
Yeah. Like, anyone can change their reality. As long as you know how to tune in, not only to with yourself, but like know that everything and every object and it's just energy. It's all sources. I don't like. I can't I can't explain it any better than that. Everything is an energy source.
Totally.
Everything can be tapped in. You can freaking tap into technology. Like, I can go into sources of energy. But,
no, I think you're ending us on a really good note. I think that the reality is you don't have to be pressured into the hustle culture. You can redefine how success looks like for you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Whether it's affirmations, whether it's therapy, whether it's simply looking at it from a different perspective and connecting to a different frequency in your life. And for you,
it changes everything.
It's been affirmations.
Freaking life and game. Yeah.
And I think for me, it's just having a different perspective, but also using affirmations. Listen, affirmations will change your life.
It really will. Affirmations has helped me with just the way I look in my exterior. It's weird.
But also, like, on a scientific level, I don't know if you've ever looked into like some articles or YouTube videos, but there's like a new circuit in your brain that happens that you train your brain into believing that's your reality.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and I don't know if you guys are interested in those affirmations, but maybe we could put like a side post on Instagram.
I like that.
Or we can go live on Instagram one of these days and just tune in with us while we do our affirmations.
I think another good suggestion is we can put out some affirmations for you guys, and on your phone, pull out your voice memo and you say the affirmations when you record, because your brain is now hearing your voice.
Yeah.
And it's affirming that is the truth.
And another tip is do this either before you go to sleep or right when you wake up, because that is like the portal in a sense of like your divine being, like your energy. And
there's like, something that happens. I think it's your amygdala. I might be wrong. Don't quote me. I'm not a science geek, but we love them. But but there's something that happens in your brain in the mornings and at night before you go to bed and when you wake up.
Yeah, it taps into some sort of subconscious neuron or something like that.
Like juices are flowing.
Something like that. I'm not that smart either, but I just know. That's what I heard. Maybe we're just very delusional and it works too.
I feel like there's this really cool podcast I listen to, Dr. Haberman. We'll post him because
from Harry Potter.
I know what you're talking about. No, and he talks about why it's important to wake up and do affirmation. So we'll put that up too, because it comes not just from a scientific level, but a spiritual level, an emotional level. We tap into everything here in the Divine Room. Okay?
No, we really do. Yeah.
So yeah, I think these are great suggestions.
Yeah.
So let us know what you guys think.
Yeah, and then we'll definitely schedule something on live soon.
Oh, I love that.
And soon we'll be having special guests coming onto our podcast.
I'm so excited.
They're all from different realms and subjects and
stories.
I'm really excited to bring these people along, and thank you for everyone that's tuning in, and thank you for those guests that have been commenting on our posts and are willing to be a part of our show and our podcast. And also thankful that you guys are also reciprocating that that welcoming with your guys' podcast. So we're really excited to have you all, literally have every single one of you guys.
I think our goal here is just to always have a safe space to talk about anything and everything.
Anything and everything.
From super dark to very light.
Very light, yeah.
And I think that's the beauty of what we're really trying to create is something safe that everyone feels a part of.
Yes.
And
can be in any realm, any type of whatever journey you're a part of, and whatever field you feel like you want to talk about. This is a platform that you may talk about.
Totally.
As long as it's positive.
Yes.
No negativity
because
here.
we that's our goal. We want to really bring light into this world, and it really comes from being divine, being in a safe divine space.
Yes.
I love that.
Love it. All right, guys. We'll see you guys in the next episode.
Until next time.
Bye.
Peace.